Fresh off the dealership floor with 7 miles on the odometer, we're here in Utah to try out our new Toyota 4Runner.
Hey Tommy, too much talking and not enough driving. Come on up here. I'm on the top of Baby Lion's back and let's give this bad boy a try.
How are we gonna do that if you need to be inside with me?
Oh, good point. Tommy, did you know this is the 6th generation of the 4Runner?
Absolutely, and if you guys want to learn all about the 6th gen, you got to check out the 4Runner 6G forums, the sponsor of today's video. A great way to engage with the community, learn what the biggest stock tire you can fit is, and everything in between.
Yeah, I go there all the time, especially before we bought this, because I wanted to learn a lot about this truck. So let's learn a lot about this truck by showing off the different modes.
Yeah, for sure. So this is our 4-wheel drive selector in this 4Runner. So we're going to put it into low range. So we're going to go into neutral, then we're going to twist this little toggle to low. We'll probably do some beeping here. And I'm going to roll forward, neutral. Maybe I was too fast. Do I have to go high first and then low?
We're learning this as you guys are learning. There you go. You figured it out.
There we go. Look, that also turned on our trail camera.
Yeah, and also gave us our inclination because we are going up pretty steep hill, dude.
And then we also have a couple of different other things we can play with. So we have multi-terrain select, and then we also have our crawl control setting here. So let me go into the multi-terrain select screen, and we're going to go into the rock mode on MTS. So there we go, rock mode engaged.
Yeah, because Baby Lion's back is certainly a rock.
And then if we need it, because this is a TRD off-road trim, we also have the electronic locking rear diff, which we can engage with that button there.
Yeah, I think we'll need that. I think this is slick rock, which isn't slick unless it's wet or snowy.
So you can see this 4Runner has exactly 7 miles on the clock, and we're gonna do our very first start.
Hey Tommy, do you think this is the first 6th gen 4Runner to taste Moab dirt?
I think it's probably one of the first.
I bet you're right, yeah.
So here's the deal with this car. It is a wrapper car. It is fresh out of the wrapper. We stuck it on a trailer from California so we didn't have to pay California registration. Then we dragged it to Moab and we're immediately off-road. And we're gonna do a full produced video tomorrow comparing it to the Land Cruiser, but we got full tire pressure and we have the chinny chin chin as we are crawling up a 30-degree slope here. Look at this.
You know, there's something about the size of the 4Runner which makes it really off-road friendly, right? It's kind of just right. It's not too big, it's not too small, and I think that's why people really love this as an off-road truck.
You know, I gotta say, these Falcons are gripping pretty well. Even at full factory pressure, we did not miss a beat up that pretty severe incline. That was awesome.
Yeah, and the torque is perfect. I mean, this has the new 4-cylinder turbo, which a lot of people, well, they don't love it in the Tacoma, but for off-roading, you don't need a lot of horsepower, you don't need a lot of torque, and out here, it's just fine.
What I'm finding is that the 317 pound-feet of torque really hits down low. So I was worried that we need to spool up that turbo like in the old school turbos of like the 80s and the 90s before we'd get that torque, but it really is ready to go right off of idle. So we didn't have to wait, there was no delay.
How's the throttle response in 4 low?
You know, so far it is feeling really, really good. I'm genuinely shocked by how smooth and linear I'm able to kind of modulate this vehicle over the slick rock here. The thing about this engine is, yes, it does sound like rocks in a blender. But here's the thing, we live in Colorado, and over a mile above sea level, and the same people complaining about this engine are the same people that hate doing 52 miles an hour up by 70 when they have a 33-inch tall tire, right? We gotta move on from that 4-liter V6, folks. It was great in 1843 when it debuted, but now that we're in 2025, I'm actually really excited about this engine. And look, from seeing what folks are saying about the Tacoma, they seem to be holding up pretty well, these 2.4s.
Yeah, you know, I think Aguarian would be a good way to describe it, right? It doesn't exactly ring the ears with that wonderful V8 sound or even a V6, but the old engine was so outdated, as was the 5-speed transmission. So it's nice to bring this into 2025 as opposed to 2010 when the original 5th generation was on veil, Tommy.
It's pretty cool that the very first time driving a 4Runner, for me at least, is up Slick Rock. It's a really special thing we're doing here. And I checked the owner's manual. They had some braking procedures, like no towing and avoid harsh starts and stops. Nothing about off-roading though, Dad.
All right, good, because I was worried about that. So here's the little sidebar, guys. Now, when we did the first video, when we bought this, a lot of you commented that $58,000 for an off-road premium is just too much. And I completely understand that. But the deal is, these things hold their value along with Tacomas, along with Wranglers, and that allows Toyota and dealers to sell them for a much higher amount, because you know that even though you've paid, in this case, $58,000 for this, 2 or 3 years, this won't depreciate like a Land Rover, Tommy, but it will still hold its value, and that allows for these much higher prices. And I think people know that inherently.
I don't know, Dad. I think that that's been the precedent with 4Runners,
Yeah.
but we can't say that for sure with this new generation. It just debuted. We're one of the first to have it. So I don't think we can say for certain. I think that you're making an excuse for it. 58 grand is too much for this 4Runner.
No, I don't think I am making an excuse. Doesn't it say Toyota across the front?
It does, but that doesn't mean that the new generation of stuff, look, we're in unprecedented times for Toyota. No more 5.7 in the Tundra, no more 4-liter in the 4Runner. What are these things going to do in long-term depreciation? That has yet to be seen.
Yeah, well, they just spent, I'm guessing billions replacing that 6-cylinder in the Tundra. They replaced 100,000 of them, Tommy, just to maintain that reputation.
Yeah, but the fact that they had to do so is not helping your argument, unfortunately. I think that this engine's going to be solid. Personally, I think that it's a well-engineered unit from what I've experienced in the Tacoma, but we just can't make that assumption yet.
Anyway, I was just trying to explain why Toyota can charge this much for it.
I think they can. I just think it's 10 grand too much.
Yeah, everything's 10 grand too much.
Yes, I know. That's the problem with 2025. Is every car now is 10 grand too much. But
and a Bronco may be a little bit cheaper, and so may a Wrangler when you compare them, nose to nose. But the thing about the 4Runner, unlike the Bronco and the Wrangler, is that this is much more on-road friendly in a lot of ways, right? We don't have a removable roof, so it's much more quiet. We don't necessarily have a vehicle that is purely designed to tackle off-road, and so this in some ways has a bigger bandwidth, and so people who are interested in getting something that they can take off-road, but at the same time, zip to the store with their kids in the back, this offers a lot of, good street value, which the Wrangler and the Bronco don't.
and we can put down the rear window.
That's as convertible as it's going to get. Huh?
Woo, look at that. That's awesome.
Shall we head down this very steep backside of Baby Lion's back?
Yeah, one thing I'm really liking are these cameras. Really crisp visibility here, and I'm actually going to try some downhill assist here.
Yeah,
and
give it a go.
Yeah, let's see if we can do this without touching the brake pedal. So I'm in the crawl control on the lowest speed, and we're going to probably max out this inclinometer here.
We're going to max it. It only goes to 30. Toyota engineers, come on, guys. People go more than 30.
All right, that's a little too slow. We're going to go to the second setting. I am noticing how tall this front end is, though. We get good sideward visibility, pretty decent mirrors, but it is a tall front end. At least that's what it feels like compared to the 5th gen.
You think that's for pedestrian safety, or you think that's just because the 4-cylinder is a tall engine?
I think it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I also think it makes the vehicle look cooler. And this is a cool looking vehicle.
It is a badass looking vehicle.
I think it looks awesome, which is really cool. And I'm kind of digging the Stormtrooper. Now, usually here, because any cameras in the old one were from 1984, I would need a spotter. I think on this one, we're going to wait for our videographer to get in position. Oh, he can't figure out how to get down the hill.
It's so steep. I know it's very hard to get down there. You want to show him the cameras while he's trying to figure out how to not break his neck going down the back of Baby Lion's back.
So let's see what options we got. So we got the underside camera, which is cool. We got the front camera.
I saw Cole made it down.
Rear. Yeah, there's Cole. He made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so. Oh, you made him even bigger.
Yeah, I made him bigger.
We're just still trying to figure out what all the buttons do in this thing, although it is pretty similar in here to the Tacoma. What does this button do?
Ooh, look at that.
Look at that.
That gives you like a bird's eye view.
Why do they have the old 4Runner, though, as a little emblem there?
But that's a new one.
Yeah,
it's white, just like ours,
yeah,
so that's good.
And we can even do, look, we can see the quarters. Wow, look at that. like off-roading in 2030.
Look at that.
Woo, that's pretty wild. All right.
You know, that's not ours. It doesn't have the Onyx.
They don't have the Onyx sticker. And by the way, check out Onyx Off-Road if you want to find the best trails in your area for off-roading and for where to go out in the fun stuff. All right, let's see what happens.
Here we
We're
go.
going to the slowest crawl setting.
All right.
Now, when we do the big off-road video tomorrow over harder stuff, Dad,
Yeah.
I think we may want to take off that chin.
I think we have to take off the chin, Tommy, or Moab will take it off for us, and that's going to be a little bit more messy.
So it's holding that speed perfectly. I'm completely foot off the brake.
Are we up past 30 degrees?
I think we're fully maxed out.
Yeah, let's see here.
Oh man, I made the cameras go away.
Yeah.
There
Oh,
we
yeah,
go.
we are maxed out. Here, can I show them?
Here, I'll go to the
I can't. I can't. Tommy, look.
What are you, T-Rex? Just bend forward a little.
Look at me. I'm like in midair.
There you go. We got
Yeah.
our cameras maxed out here.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
finish driving here.
Okay, we are beyond 30%.
Wow, the programming of the downhill assist feels so much smoother than the 5th gen. That is crazy cool. Wow, look how smooth that is. I haven't touched the brake at all except for when we stopped.
Yeah,
Beautifully done, Toyota.
It's all like, what, 4,500 pounds, pushing down, and it yet maintained a nice soft speed that we wanted it to. There was no herky jerkiness to it. It actually felt really good.
The low speed torque delivery out of this 2.4 liter, it feels super smooth at low speeds, and it's allowing us to be really precise. That's a level of precision, and the steering is so much better for, exact tire placement than the 5th generation. This is turning out to be pretty freaking awesome so far. I'm gonna speed up the crawl control a little. Oh, look at that. Doesn't even sound like sneakers in a dryer like the old one.
Now, the one thing this doesn't have, which a Wrangler and a Bronco would have, is a locking front diff. And we don't have the disconnectable fronts. We don't have the disconnectable front sway bar, Tommy. You'd have to go up to the TRD Pro or Trail Hunter version.
Yeah,
and
this is expensive.
Those are 68.
Yeah, those are crazy expensive. But look, folks, obviously, we're not out here really testing anything too crazy for today.
This is our first dirt video. This is just our introduction to what it's like off-road. And trust me, we're going to compare this very soon, actually, in fact, tomorrow, right, to the new Land Cruiser, which is based on the same chassis. So I'll be interested to see if there really is a difference between the 4Runner and the Land Cruiser, because kind of where the 4Runner ends for most people in terms of price, the Land Cruiser begins. So, right?
Yeah.
This is 58. The Land Cruiser starts at 55-ish.
So we're going to find out which one is better tomorrow in the stuff, but tonight we're going to pull off the chin. We're going to let some air out of the tires so we're ready to hit some hard stuff tomorrow.
Hey, I've got a final thought I want to share with you out there. Tommy, anytime there's a new Toyota, the enthusiasts just get all pissed off.
That's right. There were riots that started happening when the 80 series Land Cruiser went to the 100 series and lost its front solid axle. People went berserk, and that's happened for 4Runners and Tacomas. But the reality is, folks, Toyota changes. Toyotas have changed. People get over it, and then at the end of the day, the enthusiasts come around. I think we're going to find the same thing with this new model.
Welcome to 2025. Come back to alltfl.com for more news, views, and of course, Toyota 4Runner versus Land Cruiser reviews. See you next time. Ciao.